But the society, this world has learned to label things as good and bad. But what is good? What is bad? Whose standard are we even following to go, this is good and that is bad? Now, let's talk about being a good mom. What does that even mean? I remember when I was pregnant with Nyla, I was thinking to myself, and I said it out loud to my husband, Jonathan. I said, you know, I don't want to be a freaking good mom. I don't. You know what I want to be? I want to be a happy mom because being a good mom is fucking exhausting. What does that even mean? What does being a good mom even mean? No matter how much we do as a mom, we tend to not see how much we already do for our children, for our family. We tend to just see, I'm not doing enough of that. I should be doing more of this. And this will just continuously be a never ending vicious cycle because no matter how much you do, you don't fully allow yourself to recognize it. And when you do certain things that you perceive as not good or bad, you beat the shit out of yourself. So, will you ever be a good enough mom to yourself? I don't know. I don't know. Would it ever end? Would it ever be enough? What if we are not meant to be good girls, good moms, but to be a present one, to be a human being, to be a mom, to be a woman, or to be a girl that is more in the present, that is more aware of herself. Welcome to the Wildly Conscious Mom Podcast, where we explore the art of self-love, conscious parenting, and spiritual growth. I am your host, Bridget Wayne, also the author of Soul Healing Journal, available on Amazon. Nowadays, there's so much expectations and rules about what a good mom is supposed to be like, look like, act like, and behave like. That a lot of us are doing our very best to try to be a good mom, that we forget to be the mom that our children are actually seeking for us to be. This episode, I want to talk about why letting go of being a good mom can help you raise emotionally healthy and happy children. Let's dive in. One of the biggest compliments that I used to receive as a child was people will often say to me, wow, Bridget, you're such a good girl. You're so sweet. You're so thoughtful. You got to be a good girl, okay? And listen to your mom. You got to be a good girl, okay? And listen to your teacher. Listen to your dad. Now, when I share about this, most people will probably think, well, isn't it good to compliment our kids to be a good girl or a good boy? Here's the thing. This is why I wanted to create this episode. I want to talk about what is good, what is bad. So let me share with you my experience of constantly receiving the compliment of being a good girl. And I didn't even realize this growing up, not until when I was very, very old that I realized being a good girl did not serve me. It actually trapped me in this little prison of I need to be a good girl in order to be loved. I need to be a good girl and not listen to myself in order to be accepted. I need to be a good girl and be a super considerate, thoughtful human being in order for other people to like me. Or else, if I am not a good girl, then nobody will like me, nobody will accept me, then I'm going to be this horrible person. Nobody ever really told me anything that I just said right now. But whenever people compliment me as a good girl, I took that as a form of love. I learned that as a young child, unconsciously and consciously, that, oh, wow, when I do blah, 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 I receive love. When I don't do blah, 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 people don't like me. Well, then that's easy. That's clearly the case where I do good, I receive love. When I don't follow orders or obey, then I get punished, I get in trouble, or no one compliments me, no one loves me. No one show me love the way that I want to. So hey, when I sacrifice myself all the time, then I receive love, and versus I don't sacrifice myself and don't receive love, which is a better deal for a child, which is more needed as a child. As a child, we just naturally want to be loved. That's just who we are. We all, as a human being, want to be loved. And when I learned this pattern of when I am good, I am loved, then I'm going to constantly do things to prove that I am good. And what does that even mean? It could mean when my boss asks me to do something that I don't want to do, but it's not good to say no. So I'm going to say yes because that's what a good girl would do. Or when I'm already exhausted and tired and I just want to rest, but maybe a family member asked me to do a favor. And honestly, it doesn't feel right for me. But no, saying no is not being a good girl. So I'm going to force myself to say yes. So this person can love me. So I am still a good girl. I'm still a good human being. Or being good could also be being so thoughtful, being so considerate that you start to do everything for everybody before they even ask for it. Or it could be somebody taking advantage of you, cutting the line in front of you. Or it could be just broke your stuff and say, hey, I broke your stuff, but that's okay, right? You don't care, right? And we were taught, hey, basically confronting other people will make other people uncomfortable. And that's not a good thing. So let me be a good girl and just say, yeah, it's fine. That's okay. And so that's what I did for a very long time. And that's what this compliment of being a good girl did for me. It taught me to not listen to my truth. It taught me to be a people pleaser. It taught me to be afraid to speak my truth. It taught me to suppress my feelings. On the surface level, we may believe that complimenting our kids to be a good girl or a good boy is good for them. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. But what is good? What is bad? What if we're all good internally? What if internally to the core, we're all very good human beings already? But the society, this world has learned to label things as good and bad. But what is good? What is bad? Whose standard are we even following to go, this is good and that is bad? Now, let's talk about being a good mom. What does that even mean? I remember when I was pregnant with Nyla, I was thinking to myself, and I said it out loud to my husband, Jonathan. I said, I don't want to be a freaking good mom. I don't. You know what I want to be? I want to be a happy mom. Because being a good mom is fucking exhausting. What does that even mean? What does being a good mom even mean? Let me ask you. Let's say a mom who's working so hard to provide for her family, financially wise. She works so hard, maybe 2 to 3 different jobs. By the time she gets home, she's super duper tired, that she still has to do dishes, cook. And when her kids are there to ask her for her presence, to play with them, she's already freaking exhausted because she's tired, she's hungry, she hasn't rested, she hasn't napped or even had a good sleep or eat well or taken care of herself for so many days, or maybe weeks or months or years. And finally, when her kid was like, mommy, play with me, and she exploded and go, oh my gosh, I spent whole entire day trying to provide for you already. What do you want me still to play with you? Now, is that a good mom or is that a bad mom? One can say, well, she should be there for her kids. Her kids are asking for a present. She should be more patient. And that's one perspective to look at it. Another perspective could be, wow, look at her. She's working so many different jobs. And when she gets home and she still has to do all the stuff, dang, it's tough. Yeah, that's amazing. Super mom right there. so many different can have so many different perspective about this same experience that's happening right now. Somebody can see this mom as a super mom, amazing mom that's trying to do her best to provide her family. Somebody can see, oh my gosh, look at this mom. This mom is so not loving because when the kid is asking her to play, she's being so mean. And then guess what? The mom that is doing all of this, that is doing all the dishes, doing all the laundry, still have to work, still have to take care of the kids, still have to take care of the family. She won't see herself as a good mom. She won't see herself as a super mom because as a mom, we just tend to look at the things that we did wrong and the things that we can do more of. And I can go almost guarantee you this mom that I'm talking about would probably blame herself a million times thinking, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have yelled at my kids. It was my fault. Oh, what did I do? I'm such a horrible mom. And she would just completely discount the fact that she worked 2 to 3 different jobs, that still have to do laundry, I still have to take care of her kids, still have to, even deal with family issues. This mom won't see herself as a good enough mom no matter how much she does. Now, this is more of an extreme example, but there are so many moms out there, whether it be a stay-at-home mom, whether it be a working mom, no matter how much we do as a mom, we tend to not see how much we already do for our children, for our family. We tend to just see, I'm not doing enough of that. I should be doing more of this. See, I yell at my kids, oh my God, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, what a horrible mother I am. And this will just continuously be a never ending vicious cycle because no matter how much you do, you don't fully allow yourself to recognize it. And when you do certain things that you perceive as not good or bad, you beat the shit out of yourself. So will you ever be a good enough mom to yourself? I don't know. I don't know. Would it ever end? Would it ever be enough? What if we are not meant to be good girls, good moms, but to be a present one, to be a human being, to be a mom, to be a woman, or to be a girl that is more in the present, that is more aware of herself? Because when you are doing your very best to try to be a good mom, and whatever that good means to you, the good could be, I want all my kids to get good grades. The good could be, I want my kids to eat all the healthy, nutritious food and no TV, no electronics, and no blah, 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 blah. Or it could be, I want my kids to be out with nature and connect with people all the time. Or it could be, I want my kids to be polite. Do you realize that we measure whether or not we're a good mom based on how our children are? For moms who care so much about their kids' grade, when their kids don't get good grades, they start to get nervous. They feel like they need to do more to help their kids to get more good grades, or else, they perceive that their kids won't succeed in life and that will be their fault because they didn't do everything they needed. Now, my question for this good mom who's trying to help their kids to have good grades in school, what if instead of asking yourself to be a good mom that you are always doing your best to be, that you start to invite yourself to be a more present mom in these situations? What do I mean by that? What if your kids also want to get good grades, but right now she's just going through a hard time in life where she's just feeling a lack of self-confidence or feeling exhausted, because she's already studying a lot, but she's feeling scared to disappoint you because she knows how much her grades mean to you or means to her future. And if she doesn't continue to do what she's taught to do, then she will disappoint you and she doesn't feel loved. And when you stop trying to be a good mom and allow yourself to be more of a present mom, you will realize what she needs right now isn't having good grades. You will realize what she needs right now is reassurance that she will be loved no matter what. It's to make sure that even she gets good grade, it doesn't mean she's a bad girl. And it means that she needs that security. It doesn't mean that she has bad grades, means she won't have a successful future. No. What if for moms who want their kids to be polite all the time, to make sure they say hi, they say bye, they say thank you, they say please. And maybe sometimes some kids, they are just not the type to say hi right away or wanting to say goodbye for whatever reason. But as parents, we see that, oh, that's being impolite. Oh, that's not good behavior. That's our judgment right there. And us trying to be the good mom, we want to force our kids, no, 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 say goodbye. No, say thank you. Say thank you. Say hi. Say please. You got to say hi. That's being polite. But if we allow ourselves to switch the mode from being a good mom to being a present mom and really allow ourselves to notice, I wonder why she feels uncomfortable to say hi right now. You know, I'm actually talking about my daughter right now. She's not the type to say hi to anybody, but she likes to say hi to people that she feels very familiar with. And I remember my mom would make a comment that, oh my gosh, she's not saying hi. You got to make her say hi to people. That's being polite. And at first, I would want to listen to my mom's opinion and advice and go, yeah, that's right. You know what? I want my kid to be polite. But I would try to ask her to say hi a few times in a nice way, and she just did not feel comfortable. And I realized, why am I forcing her to do the things that she doesn't feel ready to do? It's not that she doesn't want to say hi. She does say hi to people that she trusts. And at times she doesn't want to say bye because she doesn't want to say goodbye to this fun time. It's not that she's trying to be impolite. She just doesn't want to say goodbye. She doesn't want to leave. She doesn't want to go home because she's having so much good time here. And saying goodbye means she has to go home and not be able to spend time with her family or her friends, that she's having fun with. But see, if I was trying to be a good mom all the time, I wouldn't notice this. I was still till this day trying to make her say hi when she doesn't want to. And she will learn to not trust her feelings and stuff her feelings down and go, okay, I must do what is right or else, right? And it's very interesting. I kind of just let her be. And when she wants to say hi, she says hi. And when she doesn't, I say hi to those people for her. I let it go. And it's very interesting when I just let it go. Now she's at an age where now she goes to school. She is so happy at school. Now, when she sees strangers without me asking, she will just say hi. She is ready for it. However, your children are right now does not determine how they will be for the rest of their lives. But it requires us to be the present mom in order for us to notice that. Notice why they're behaving a certain way. Notice what their needs really are right now instead of us trying to force them to be a certain way. And I'm not just inviting you to be a present mom for your kids. I'm also inviting you to be a present mom to yourself. There are times when you're exhausted. There are times when you really just can't take this anymore. Instead of pushing it through, instead of pushing yourself to do more, be present with yourself and ask, honey, what is it that you need right now? And if you really allow yourself to just listen to it, the answer could be very, very simple. It could be, I really just need a freaking 10 to 15 minutes to just breathe by myself and not having someone screaming, yelling at me, throwing tantrum around me. Hey, that's cool. Cool. Can we find 10, 15 minutes? and just be there, or maybe a weekend, or maybe I just want to be able to sleep in on a Sunday morning. Cool. Can I ask for my babysitter to help me? Can I ask for a family member to help me? Or heck, if I have an older child that can help me watch my younger kid, hey, can you please just help mommy watch, little Nyla for 30 minutes while mommy just sit in here, to just be with myself for a little bit. But hey, if you need help, if there's an emergency, be sure to let me know. What can I do today to help me fulfill the need that I currently need right now? Being a present mom to yourself could mean speaking your truth, recognizing your truth, and admitting to yourself what you truly feel right now. I'll give you an example of what this means. I remember there was this one time that I went to get a massage, and it was a Chinese massage, and I like my massage hard, deep tissue, like too, like inside, deep, deep, deep. So I always like to go to Chinese massages because I know they can go deep. But one time I went to this massage and this lady was just not going deep. She was basically just touching me, and asked her, like, one time she went maybe a little deeper, but not really, still was touching me. So I asked her about 3, 4 times, can you go a little bit deeper? Finally, she was like, I can't go deeper anymore. Like, she was giving me bad attitude. Like, no one can do this kind of strength you're asking. I'm like, whoa, really? So I was like, okay, then is there anyone else that can do the strength I'm asking? She was like, no one. No one does that. And I was like, that's no freaking way. I get massages all the time. I know people can do that. You're basically touching me right now. So I said, you know what? If no one can give me the massage that I am asking for, I need to stop. I'm going to stop the massage right now. And she said, no, 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 you got to finish this massage because of you. Like, I said no to all the potential customers that walk into to our store right now. You got to finish this massage and pay me. And I was like, what, lady? No, I'm finished. I'm finishing this massage right now because you're not giving me what I need. And you still want me to continue this massage that I'm going to be paying you for, but you're not giving me what I want. No, I'm stopping at 30 minutes because already 20 minutes. I'll pay you 30 minutes. And after that, I went to that massage with my friend, and my friend also didn't have a good enough experience in that massage place. So I was telling her, I was like, you know what? I actually felt good that I stood up for myself, but I also noticed good, the part of me that's trying to be the good girl, that I was being too mean, maybe I could have been softer. And my friend said to me, my friend Sarah, she said, but what if being a good girl means speaking your truth? And that just hit me on the head and woke me up for the first time and go, oh my gosh, yeah, yeah. What if the new good girl is to speak your truth? Because for a long time, being a good girl meant to obey. Being a good girl meant to not speak your truth to please other people. But what if by being a good girl now is to speak my truth, to stand my ground, and to say no to the things that are toxic to me, and to say no to the things that are manipulative to me? What if being a good girl is to speak my truth? And here it is. I'm also sharing with you, mommies, that I'm not just asking you to be present with your children, but I'm mainly asking you to be present with your truth. There are times when certain things happen that you're unhappy with. It is okay to express your truth. It is okay to admit to yourself that you're angry. It is okay to admit to yourself that you feel sad about this and you want something to change about it. A lot of time we believe holding our truth back, not confronting other people, is keeping the peace. But is it really? On the surface level, it may seem like you're keeping the peace because nothing's changed. No one is yelling. No one is screaming. No one is arguing. That's peace, right? But what if you become present enough with yourself that you notice, oh my gosh, internally, there's no fucking peace. I'm struggling. I'm being angry. I'm just trying to stuff it down. And I'm just afraid to admit this to myself, because if I admit this to myself, then I will stir something up and other people are not going to be happy with me. And this is why I want to talk about letting go of being a good mom and letting go of having your kids being the good girl or the good boy, so that we can start to be more present, be more of a present child, be more of a present mom. But it starts with you being a present mom so your children can learn from you. You know how exhausting it is to not listen to your bodies, to know that you're already freaking exhausting and still have to force yourself to do all these things that's on your to-do list, to have to please everyone else, to have to make sure everyone is happy, is okay, and to have to go through the struggle of sadness and anger and don't know what to do. Now, your children are also learning that from you, consciously or unconsciously. Kids don't learn from what we say. Kids learn from who we are, how we treat ourselves, and how we treat them. And a lot of times, no matter how much we try to be a good mom, our kids will pick up the energy behind everything we do. I'll share another example of what I mean by that. For a period of time, for a long period of time, there was a time when I constantly felt that I can't. Like, I can't buy the things that I want for myself because I'm supposed to save this money for the family, for our home, because, this is what I want is not necessity. So I should wait until we have more money, financially more free, in order to fulfill my desires. Okay. And that's one example of I can't. Or it could be that I want a career of my own, but I feel like I can't do it. I somehow I don't know how I can't. And I just didn't feel confident enough for myself. Or there's so many times where I just wanted a go to a restaurant to buy my favorite food, and I felt like I can't. I'm not allowed to, because I shouldn't. And logically, it did not make sense to me at all, but I constantly felt that way until I was talking to one of my mentors. By the way, my mentor's name is Brian Ridgway. I highly recommend you to check him out on YouTube. But anyways, Brian asked me, when was it that you felt that it was not okay for you to ask for what you want? And as I sat there with this question, a memory came up where maybe I was 8-year old, 9-year old, 10-year old. I don't remember how old I was, but I remember I was walking in the mall with my mom, and I saw this little Japanese stamp, really, really cute stamp set. And I asked my mom, hey, I told my mom I really wanted this. And I remember it was like $100 Taiwanese dollars. So it was probably about $3, maybe $2 or $3 back then. And so I asked my mom, I said, Mom, I really want this. This is so cute. And this incident show up, and Brian continued to ask me, okay, so you as a little kid, what did you say to your mom? I said, Mom, I really wanted this. And Brian asked me again, okay, after you said this, what did your mom say? And I sat there and I started crying. I said, I don't remember what my mom said, but I felt I can't. I felt from my mom's energy that she couldn't. I didn't grow up rich, and constantly we had financial problem. And I remember in my memory, when I went back to the memory, I remember I felt my mom really wanted to get it for me, but she couldn't get it for me. She felt like she couldn't. It was hard for her to get that stamp set for me. And through this conversation that I had with my mentor, Brian, was that as a kid, I was such a sensitive child. And believe it or not, all children are very, very sensitive. Through this experience of me asking for the stamp set, And my mom probably didn't say anything because I remember she ended up buying the stamp for me anyways. But I remember feeling she felt like she couldn't. And through this experience, I learned that when I asked for what I wanted, my mom felt sad. And I learned that when I asked for what I wanted, I became a burden because when I asked for what I wanted, my mom looked sad. Now, there's nothing my mom could have done. She was doing the best that she could to provide what I wanted for me. But on the energetic level, she felt that money was tight. She couldn't find it, she couldn't buy it for me, but she wanted to. But as a child, I picked it up as, oh, it's not okay to ask for what I want because look, mommy's sad. It's not something that she said to me. She bought the stamp for me, but I felt her energy behind it. And this is what I mean by the kids don't learn from what we say, but they learn from who we are and the energy behind what we do. This is why it's so important to take care of you, to be present with you, to notice what is going on within you emotionally so you can address it, you can process it, you can acknowledge how you feel. Because here's the thing, when you start to feel more at peace because your internal emotion feels heard, feels loved, then you start to feel better. You start to feel more at peace. And when you start to feel more at peace, your children feel that from you. And this is why it's so important for us to be in the present moment with ourselves and with our children so that we do things for them to best help support them the way they want to be supported at the moment and not what we think they need, if that makes sense. And this episode is not about telling you what you are doing or not doing is right or not right. Being a mother, we are all trying to do our best all the time. We want to show our children how much they're loved, how much we do love them, and we do it in the ways that we know how. This episode isn't about telling you, hey, when if you're not being a present mom, then you're not being a good mom. Again, let go of being a good mom. If anything, allow yourself to be a present mom that is happy. Allow this journey be about bringing yourself closer to your truth and to your peace, to your happiness. Allow yourself to be fully present of what you need at this moment, whether it be just I need a break to listen to music, I need to go outside for a walk, or it could very easily be I do want to spend time with my kids in a very present moment and not worry about laundry and dishes or having to work on my career or job. Whatever that may be, you have a need, you have a desire inside. There's a part of you that needs to feel supported by you, and it requires you to be the present mom to yourself to notice that, and so that you can show your children how to be present with themselves. That's all I'm inviting you to do. It's not about being a good kid, it's not about being a good mom. It's none of that, because the world has enough rules about what is good and what is bad. And it's time for us to question that. It's time for us to reevaluate that and allow ourselves to put a different perspective and definition of what is good and bad in everything and anything we do. Okay, so I hope this episode helps, and I hope I invite you on a journey to realize you are an incredible, amazing mom already. I know if you're listening to this podcast, you're looking for ways to better yourself. I'm here to invite you to see this perspective. You don't need to better yourself. You just need to see you're already amazing. You're already incredible. You just need to be more present enough for yourself to see that, for yourself to recognize that, for yourself to realize that, because when you stop being so harsh on yourself, then on an energetic level, you start to also have more patience with your children when they're throwing tantrum. Then you stop being so harsh on yourself when you lose your patience, if that makes sense.